Every once in a while, we come across an idea so simple, yet so powerful, that if we truly embraced it, it would fundamentally change the way we live, think, and respond to life. And one of those ideas is this: act as if everything always works out for you. This idea, often repeated in different forms by mentors, philosophers, and thinkers like Rohn, is not about pretending life is perfect. It's not about plashing a smile on your face while you're falling apart inside. It's not about ignoring reality or denying the difficulties that you face. It's about mindset. It's about approach. It's about how you choose to interpret life's moments, big or small. Because at the end of the day, the way you think shapes everything. Your beliefs shape your actions. Your actions create your outcomes. And your outcomes reinforce your beliefs. That loop can either destroy your confidence or build an unbreakable one. So imagine if you woke up every day with a mindset that somehow, someway, things will work out for you. Imagine how much calmer you would be, how much more confident, how much more focused, how much less reactive, how much more willing you'd be to take risks, to explore opportunities, to speak up, to try again after failure. This is not blind optimism. This is intelligent optimism. This is a deliberate choice to look at life through a lens that helps you grow, adapt, and move forward, no matter what happens. The core of the mindset. When you act as if everything always works out for you, you're not declaring that every moment will be easy. You're declaring that you are someone who can turn any moment into value. It's a shift from "why is this happening to me" to "what is this trying to teach me?" And that one shift rewrites your entire emotional landscape. People who thrive, not just survive, but truly thrive, are not the ones with the easiest lives. They're the ones who carry the strongest internal world. They understand that challenges happen to everyone. The difference is how you choose to meet them. Rohn often said, "Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better." And that is exactly what this mindset does. It makes you better. It makes you stronger, more resilient, more aware, more grateful, and more equipped to handle complexity of life. A lesson from Thomas Edison. If you want to understand this mindset in action, look at Thomas Edison. When building the incandescent light bulb, he failed, not once, not 100 times, but thousands of times. Thousands. But here's what's remarkable. He never once saw those failures as the end. He never labeled them as proof that things don't work out. Instead, he saw each failure as information, as feedback, as data he could use. He famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that do not work." This is the purest example of acting as if everything works out for you. Not because it does work out immediately, but because you choose to believe the journey is leading somewhere meaningful. Because you choose to believe that every twist has purpose. Because you choose to believe that success is not luck, it's persistence. Edison didn't avoid reality. He embraced it, studied it, learned from it. He did not pretend challenges didn't exist. He simply refused to let them dictate the story. That's the difference. Why this mindset makes people more successful. People who act as if life works for them tend to take more action, stay calm under pressure, think more creatively, handle uncertainty better, attract better relationships, bounce back faster from failure, find opportunities others don't see. Why? Because when you believe everything will work out, your brain enters solution-seeking mode instead of survival mode. You stay open. You stay curious. You stay resilient. You stay resourceful. The mind is incredibly powerful. When you expect a positive outcome, you naturally begin moving toward it. You're more patient. You're more disciplined. You're more determined. And when you combine effort with expectation, you create a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's not magic. It's psychology. It's focus. It's consistency. It's belief. What you repeatedly tell yourself becomes your internal reality, and your internal reality shapes your external actions. Optimism versus denial. Now, let's be very clear. This mindset does not mean pretending everything is fine when it's not. It does not mean being naive. It does not mean smiling through pain and ignoring your responsibilities. Smart optimism is not denial. It is discipline. It's the discipline of choosing to put your energy into solutions, not excuses. It's the discipline of focusing on what you can control, not what you can't. It's the discipline of recognizing that setbacks are temporary, not permanent. You can acknowledge the difficulty without surrendering to it. You can accept reality while refusing to be crushed by it. You can experience pain without letting it define your future. This is emotional maturity. This is resilience. This is strength. Awareness. The first step. To adopt this mindset, you must begin with awareness. Awareness of your thoughts, your reactions, your internal dialogue. Most people don't even realize how negative their self-talk is. They assume they're being realistic, when in truth they're being fear-driven. They assume they're protecting themselves, when in truth they're limiting themselves. They assume their thoughts are objective, but thoughts are rarely objective. The moment you begin to observe your mind, you start to gain power over it. You begin to catch the negative patterns. You begin to interrupt them. You begin to rewrite them. This takes practice. This takes patience. But the transformation is life-changing. Gratitude, fuel for optimism. One of the most powerful tools that supports this mindset is gratitude. Gratitude doesn't just make you happier. It makes you stronger. A grateful mind is more resilient. It sees what's working, not just what's missing. It recognizes blessings in disguise. It remembers that the world is not against you. It keeps you grounded. It keeps you humble. It keeps you hopeful. When you believe that life has already given you so much, it becomes easier to believe that life will continue to support you. And that belief builds confidence. Confidence builds action. Action builds results. Courage. Acting even when you're scared. Real optimism does not mean you're never afraid. It means you don't let fear stop you. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the willingness to move despite it. Acting as if everything will work out for you gives you permission to take steps you would have avoided before. It removes the mental block that says, what if it fails? What if I'm not good enough? What if I look stupid? When you trust that failure is part of the process and not the end, you begin to step forward again and again. You begin to take chances. You begin to grow at a speed most people never experience. Success requires courage. Courage requires belief. And belief is strengthened by this mindset. Personal responsibility. The power of ownership. Another key part of this mindset is taking full responsibility for your life. Not blame, not shame, not guilt, responsibility. When you believe everything works out for you, you also believe that you have a role in making things work. You're not a victim of life. You're a participant. You're a contributor. You're an architect of your path. Jim Rohn said, you must take personal responsibility. You cannot change the circumstances, the seasons, or the wind, but you can change yourself. This mindset empowers you. It puts you back in control. It removes helplessness and replaces it with agency. You stop waiting for things to change. You start changing yourself. You start changing your decisions. You start changing your habits. You start changing your reactions. And as you change, life responds. Abundance versus scarcity. One of the biggest shifts this mindset creates is moving from a scarcity mentality to an abundance mentality. When you believe everything works out for you, you no longer fear loss. You no longer fear competition. You no longer fear running out. Instead, you begin to see the world as full of opportunities, full of possibilities, full of resources. You become more generous because you don't fear giving. You become more collaborative because you don't fear others succeeding. You become more ambitious because you don't fear risk. A scarcity mindset keeps you small. An abundance mindset opens the world. Resilience, becoming unbreakable. Resilience is one of the most valuable traits a person can have, and this mindset strengthens it dramatically. Life will test you. Life will challenge you. Life will frustrate you. Life will break your heart. Life will knock you down again and again. But people with this mindset don't stay down. They don't quit. They don't collapse under pressure. They adapt. They learn. They rise. They rebuild. They evolve. When you act as if things will eventually work out, you stop seeing setbacks as permanent. You see them as temporary detours. You see them as teachers. You see them as part of your becoming. And that makes you mentally unstoppable. Decision-making becomes clearer. When your mind is not clouded by fear or pessimism, your decision-making improves dramatically. You think more clearly. You evaluate risks more calmly. You see solutions more easily. You make choices based on growth, not anxiety. Good decisions create good outcomes. Good outcomes reinforce positive belief. And the cycle continues upward. Relationships improve. People are naturally drawn to those who carry a positive expectation of life. Not toxic positivity, not fake cheerfulness, but grounded optimism and emotional balance. You become easier to trust. You communicate better. You're more patient. You're more compassionate. You're less reactive. You're more stable. People feel safe around you. People feel inspired by you. People respect you. This mindset elevates your presence. Your health improves. Stress destroys the body. Negativity drains energy. Worry weakens the immune system. Optimism, on the other hand, lowers anxiety, reduces stress hormones, increases motivation, improves sleep, boosts creativity, sharpens focus. Your body literally performs better when your mind believes things will work out. This mindset is a practice. Adopting this belief is not a one-time decision. It's a daily practice, a daily commitment, a daily realignment. Some days it will feel easy. Other days it will feel impossible. But with consistency, this mindset becomes your default setting. And when that happens, life begins to shift, not because the world has changed, but because you have. You've changed your interpretation. You've changed your reactions. You've changed your expectations. And when your expectations rise, your life rises with them. A balanced approach to life. Let's be very clear one more time. Acting as if everything always works out for you is not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about being honest, being hopeful, being resilient, being responsible, being flexible, being grateful, being courageous. It means you acknowledge reality and choose the most empowering response. It means you face difficulty and stay open to possibility. It means you get knocked down and choose to rise again. It means you believe, not blindly, not foolishly, but intentionally, that your story is not over yet, and the next chapter can be better than the last. The final message. When you adopt this mindset fully, consistently, sincerely, you begin to reshape your life from the inside out, because life tends to respond to the energy you bring into it. When you walk with fear, you attract reasons to fear. When you walk with doubt, you find reasons to doubt. When you walk with negativity, you experience more negativity. But when you walk with belief, when you trust your journey, when you carry the expectation that things will somehow work out, your energy shifts, your actions shift, your vision shifts, your opportunities shift, your life shifts. Acting as if everything works out for you is not pretending. It is preparing your mind, your habits, your heart, and your attitude to meet life at its fullest. So from today forward, remind yourself, whatever happens, I can handle it. Whatever comes, I will learn from it. Whatever challenge arises, I will grow through it. My life is moving in the right direction, and everything will work out for me. Because once you believe that, you stop being intimidated by the unknown. You stop resisting growth. You stop doubting your potential. You start showing up. You start evolving. You start living. And that, more than anything, is the mindset that transforms an ordinary life into an extraordinary one.